Okay, so this one is a section devoted to vocab for chemistry. And the first word is element, and I have you drawing what it looks like. And an element is your foundation block on the periodic table. These are all those elements we see. And Julianne, sometimes you get kids drawing and they have a nucleus and they put protons and neutrons in here. And then they've got their electrons. Okay. Then the next word is a compound. Well, what does a compound look like? Well, one of our famous ones is H2O. So I've got O, which is the oxygen, and then I've got hydrogen and hydrogen. And so it's two of them put together. They have different properties. Then I ask students, well, what does a mixture look like? And one I like to use is chocolate chip cookies. You can also use Italian dressing because some students do like that idea. But mainly again, you think about that you can see the parts. And then we talk about what homogeneous means. Well, what does it mean to be homogeneous? Well, if we go down to the definition, we break this down. This means the same. So it means to look the same throughout. And a great example would be Kool-Aid, because when you mix it, it looks the same throughout. Hetero means different. And so that could be your Italian dressing. And basically you can see the different parts in it. So I have a chart for you. Here's your matter. We break it down. There are two components of matter. We can either break it down into pure substances or mixtures. Mixtures are broken down into homogeneous or this is really heterogeneous. Okay. Mixtures can be separated through physical processes, and that's what one of your first labs was you were doing on it. Pure substances are broken down into elements and compounds, and compounds can be broken down into elements through chemical processes. Some other words that we should know: theory, law, hypothesis, and model. So I'm going to start with the hypothesis. You guys know this one from middle school. They're going to give you it's an educated guess. But I also like to say it's testable. So it's not just saying, well, I think green walls are cool. That's not a testable one, okay? But you could say, if I add 3 grams of sodium chloride, it will decrease my temperature by 5 degrees Celsius. That is a testable hypothesis. A law is proven over and over again, every single time. We'll talk about the law of conservation. You also have Newton's laws. They work every time. Theory, it's got pretty good evidence, but it's missing some parts. And so one of the ones you like to pick on would be evolution or Big Bang Theory. Both theories have pretty good evidence for them, but they're not proven all the way through, and so they're not going to be called a law. The other one is a model, and these are just, these can be images, these can be 3D structures, They are items to help us visualize. They have fallacies with them. They are not perfect, but they are just strictly there to help us visualize a concept that we find to be challenging.